Hey everyone, this is Al from Red Leaf Sports. If you want to interact with us, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Red Leaf Sports. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and Spotify.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 1 and official launch of the Red Leaf Sports podcast. My name is Jay Marinelli and sitting to my right is my good friend, my co-host of the podcast, Al D'Angelo. Big Al, you ready to get this show on the road?
Oh, for sure, man. Really happy to do this with you guys. You and the boys here. You know, we've been talking about it for so many years.
We have.
Trying to start this venture together, dive into the world of sports.
As a wise man once said, it's been a long time running.
It's been a long time running, absolutely.
Back into probably our early 20s when we first applied to broadcasting school. And, I mean, that's a whole other story for another day. But that's about almost 15 years ago. And
wow.
Here we are today after a couple, maybe a year or so of Al reaching out to me and trying to get me on board with the whole podcast idea. I think I shut you down.
Yeah, I don't really know why I wanted to get into this with you because I don't really agree with much of the same stuff.
That's the thing. We both love sports, but we disagree on almost everything to do with sports.
Not everything.
Not everything, but a lot of stuff. Cool. But maybe that's a recipe for a great podcast, right? So it is something that's been in the works for a couple years now, and Al finally got me on board, and we obviously wouldn't be here without the help of some of our friends, which is a good segue into introducing our boys here. The crew. And part of the show, we have our third man in the booth, our stat guy, our peacekeeper, Anth Magnata. Anth, thank you for doing this with us,
Thanks, guys.
Really happy.
Thanks for having me. This
is
great.
And that's the quick rundown of Anth. He's going to be our third man in the booth, our stat guy, and he's going to keep the peace between Al and I.
The peacekeeper, the referee,
and come between Al and I when we have our disputes, which we will have often. So Anth, thanks again for jumping in this venture with us, and also. Who we have here is our social media director handling all the social media stuff that we touched on in the intro of the show.
Our social butterfly.
Our social butterfly, for the lack of a better nickname for the time being, Ange Pompilio. Ange, how you doing, man?
Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem, Ange.
Tipping my cap on this journey with you guys.
Glad to. We're really happy to have you on board, and like I said, Ange is going to be handling all that social media stuff. Before we jump into this show, we're going to be covering everything to do with the world of sports.
NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA. Yes,
NBA. Yes, I'm a big NBA fan, so we'll definitely be talking that. Some hoops. World of soccer, any league in the world we'll be touching on. MLS. More Serie A than anything. EPL will definitely hit on. Everything to do with soccer.
Golf, tennis. We got a US Open segment this episode.
We're going to touch on everything. We're not going to discriminate against any sport, any league. We want to bring you guys all the information possible. And we're going to be coming to you. Curling, yeah, maybe some curling. I know we were big fans of curling in the Olympics. Some of our Canadian girls, our Canadian boys, big fans of curling during those times. But let's not get off track here. Let's let the listeners know what our show's all about. As I was saying, we're going to be touching on everything to do with sports, and we're going to be coming to you guys every Tuesday is going to be our goal. We're going to be recording Monday nights, coming to you on Spotify and iTunes. To download the podcast and listen to every Tuesday.
Listen, comment on social media. Let us know what you guys want out of this show. It's also your podcast.
Yeah.
It's all of our podcasts.
Yeah, we're
the more input we get, the better that the product will be, and the more fun we'll all have.
Absolutely, and don't be shy. Give us your likes, your dislikes, your comments. Anything that you think that would better the show, anything we're doing that you're not a big fan of, anything we're going to be very in touch with our viewers, our listeners, and all that. So let's wrap that intro up and let's get jumping into our our first section of the show. We're going to be leading off every podcast with something called the Starting Five. And what that's going to be is Anth, our producer, is going to give us the top 5 stories, top 5 topics in sports, the week that passed, the week of coming up, and the present day. And Al and I and the boys are going to jump on those topics and give you our opinions, our facts, anything that comes to our mind.
Oh, yeah.
So I think without further ado, let's introduce the Starting Five.
Thanks, Jay.
No problem, man.
What a good week to start. Busy week.
Yeah, it's
It is
you know
a busy
what?
week.
It's
Busy week.
It's a lot of action. We've actually we've done some test runs over the last few weeks.
This has been very busy.
It was a little dry, but this week is it's a good week to start. So hit us off, man.
Topic number 1. The captain is gone. Max Pacioretty is finally traded from the Habs.
He gone.
Our captain.
Our
Maybe
captain.
not the captain.
Oh, well. You know what I'm saying. Topic number 2 is pitch talk. The Nations League. Al has finally figured out how this tournament works.
I did.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure it out for weeks, and hopefully we'll give you
Hopefully
guys
we got
a
it.
good
I think I
explanation
can
on that.
explain it to you guys.
Yeah.
I think I can explain it to you guys. Maybe with a little help from Jay, but I think we can sort it out today.
I'll do my
Topic
best.
3, the US Open. Review the men's and women's final.
A lot of action going on in
Okay.
Flushing.
A lot more than
Meadows.
just tennis, too.
A lot
we can
more
talk
than
about.
just tennis. Yeah.
Topic 4, week 1 in the NFL was this past weekend, so we'll run down on
Week
that.
1 was this weekend?
Yeah,
Did you miss it?
I missed all the football.
Missed the whole weekend?
Basically, what we've been talking
Well,
about for the
that's
past.
good, because we're going to review it for
We're
you.
gonna run it down for
Week
you.
1 was this
Week
weekend.
one was this week.
Oh, okay.
And in the MLB, some wild card and division races there.
Topic 5: MLB wildcard and division races. Okay.
We'll touch on that.
Yeah. So where do you wanna lead us
Start us
off?
Let's go to the National Football League. Bum, 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 bum.
Week 1 rundown. All right. Yeah, lots to talk about, Al. I know we're gonna try and keep this to as quick as possible, these topics, but there's a lot to talk about.
There's
here.
so much to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is the last thing that happened last night.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I was watching the game, and Aaron Rodgers is doing his thing. Go up to get myself a coffee, come back downstairs. What happened? Our group chat's going crazy. Mm-hmm. Something happened to Aaron Rodgers. Oh my God. Again, same story, New Year. Gets hurt. These guys are going into the tank. Gets carted off the field.
Yeah, I missed it. I didn't see it. Same as you. I wasn't watching, and then I saw the group chat light up, and then I went to go see it, and I saw the highlight, and I'm like, I don't
guys
think
are done.
this guy's coming back.
No, it looked like he wasn't coming back for
and
sure.
Especially coming off the injuries of previous years.
The first thought in my head was this guy's done today for sure.
Well, yeah,
And-
the game for sure. I thought there's no way.
For
But
sure the game. Exactly.
Possibly even further than that. And then, the knight in shining armor comes
It was
Aaron
crazy.
Rodgers.
It was crazy that he just came back out and started again.
Wow.
But you could see the guy. He was struggling.
Well, he was struggling.
His play wasn't struggling. His play wasn't struggling, but he was struggling.
Let's be frank here, Al. They shot him up with something. There's no way a normal
That's
human
what
being
they.
is
But that's
coming
what they
back.
do.
I get it. That's what they do.
That's
But
what they do.
This is the thing that people complaining about.
Is that a
injuries
known
and-
thing that they do that? Is that known?
I
or is
mean,
it, is
I
it something
remember-
hush. Like, you can't talk about.
I
it?
remember hearing about stuff like that since we were young. Like,
Yeah, but they were always just people saying stuff that were in the locker room and
I
they were
think it's
there.
from
And they're like, yeah, they
athletes
shot him
too.
up for sure.
I think there's athletes that have preached to that as well. I mean, there's something. No human being can come back from something like that without
He
some
can only play
sort
out
of
of he can only,
artificial something,
Well,
some
you don't
supplement.
know.
he can only
for
play
sure
out of the
that-
shotgun and the pistol. Last
Right,
night.
right.
He couldn't.
So he
couldn't
was
do his
restrained
drop, his
a
normal
bit.
drop
Yeah.
back.
Yeah,
But
it's
still,
not like
you could definitely tell that he was struggling.
right. It's not like he came back and he was running like sprints across the field.
But the guy
Yeah.
got it done.
Right, and I don't want to discredit saying that he got maybe something from his talent. I mean, the guy's talent alone, he can probably do that on one leg. It's Aaron Rodgers.
When he came back, I said, "That's it.
I quote
it's happening."
Al saying last night, "Do not count Aaron Rodgers out." They're
He
coming back
did.
to win
Yeah,
this game.
this guy
I
did
called
say
it
it.
last
Yeah,
night.
he
It was
did.
20-0. He
Yeah.
said, "Are you guys crazy? Wait."
Yeah, it's
20-0, and this guy comes back,
Yep.
throws 3 touchdowns,
Yep.
286 yards total.
Regular
game.
Yeah.
I have both legs, but
I'm not
really
surprised. Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't
surprised either.
It's Rodgers, and it's Rodgers against the Bears, which he's owned.
And also, Khalil Mack
was a beast last night.
But he disappeared.
In the second half.
The whole defensive line disappeared.
Well, yeah, they disappeared. They could have got tired.
Collingsworth was talking about it last night on the broadcast. He was saying that the hurry-up offense, and you could see it. You're watching the game. You could see them just die down. The hurry-up offense that Rodgers does, it wins the defensive line.
Yeah, I don't know why
they can't push every single time.
Yeah.
And you can see the more that they did the hurry-up offense, each play he would get less and less pressure.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers would get less and less pressure.
Yeah.
He had more time to do things, even with his injury.
Yeah, they adjusted at half.
This is the definition.
They did adjust at half.
They
I mean, it's
of course he did,
NFL,
but he's the definition of elite. This guy is elite.
Of course.
Yeah, there's no question there. Let's not hog the whole NFL Week 1 rundown on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. A few other quick stories to run through. To a big surprise, my Bucks explode offensively against the Saints, and not only explode offensively but win. And cover a massive 9.5 point, 10 point spread. The Saints the secondary looked absolutely atrocious, making Deshaun Jackson look like the Deshaun Jackson of 7 years
like
ago.
Old Deshaun
right?
Jackson.
And Mike Evans doing what he does best. No surprise there.
Because according to you, he's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
I believe he's got the most raw, natural talent out of any receiver
Best
in the
wide
NFL.
receiver in the NFL.
That's another argument for another day.
I hope
Luca's shaking his head here, so we're getting.
I hope you can replay this at the end of the year and say, see? And
I'm not saying stats-wise.
Jay, you were right. He is the best. I will never say that.
Put him on the Atlanta Falcons. A friend of the show asked, what about Julio Jones? Put Mike Evans on Atlanta for the last 8 years. I guarantee you he has better numbers than Julio Jones.
You can't guarantee that.
I'll guarantee it, and I'll say it right now.
That's a guarantee.
Okay. But we'll never know. So let's
get him on the phone. Let's
call the Falcons.
So a couple other things, Al. Do you got anything else? Barkley looked okay, other than that big run.
Yeah, but that's it.
That was it. I mean, he went up against a tough Jags defense, so you can't really. I was
surprised he even got that much off of the Jags.
Yeah, I mean, listen, with a runner of that talent, that's all it takes. It's all it really is one big run, two big runs.
He looks confident when he runs.
Yeah, no,
you can see the confidence.
The kid's gonna be, he's gonna be the real deal,
right? Yeah, I think so too.
What else? Fournette, little injury scare. He should be okay though. Buffalo, I don't even know if I want to waste.
Don't talk about
a few seconds on Buffalo and that embarrassment.
I don't think they're that bad. I don't think they're that bad. Like 47 to what was it? 47-3 bad.
Well, if they don't start Nathan Peterman,
47-3. So start them.
No, they. No,
I know,
he
but
should
now
not have a job in the league anymore. That's 2 games where it's a complete embarrassment. I'm sorry, you can't.
Maybe you're right.
Ride him on the bench. Give Josh Allen a shot.
No, Baltimore.
Right?
Baltimore's not.
It's that game. Yeah. Baltimore's not that good. The Bills aren't that bad.
Listen, their defense. Baltimore's defense is great. It got better this year, so who knows? We'll see. But anything else, Al? You want to touch on quickly in NFL before we move on to the next topic?
Let's talk about the tie. Let's talk about the tie quick.
Yeah, your Pittsburgh Steelers and your Cleveland Browns with an
not my Cleveland Browns. They're not my Cleveland Browns.
That's one of Al's most hated teams. But that's an interesting tie. Give us a Steelers perspective.
Steelers perspective is they got lucky.
They got very lucky.
They got very lucky. They played 6 turnovers.
Yeah. Roethlisberger.
3 picks, 2 fumbles.
Is old father time.
And you tie. You don't lose. How lucky are you?
Well, you're playing the Cleveland Browns. That's why you tied and didn't lose.
You're playing the Cleveland Browns.
Is Father Time catching up to Ben this year? Is this the decline that is inevitable?
I think he's got a couple more years.
Couple?
Yeah, he's got this year and next.
Yeah, I might give him this year. That offense alone will carry him through.
They have to plan for a quarterback.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they got the offense. I mean, they got a few aging guys. Brown's getting up there. Le'Veon Bell with that fiasco. Who knows what's going on there? I mean, James Conner looked like a stud yesterday in his place.
My boy.
So
James Conner, what was his stats yesterday?
Finished with 2 touchdowns, 135 yards.
135 yards?
He had a monster game.
So does
2 touchdowns.
So
Two
does
touchdowns,
Le'Veon
yep.
Bell make a difference there, or does this is he going to do the same thing? Can you see Le'Veon Bell doing better than that?
I think Le'Veon Bell, a healthy Le'Veon Bell with a good training camp, I think he can do better.
Better than that?
I think, yeah.
So you
maybe
think-
not significantly, maybe 160, 170.
So you take Connor out of this game and you put Bell in. Do the Steelers
It's hard
win?
to really say that. I think the Steelers can maybe score 3 more points with Le'Veon
Because there's
Bell.
a thought.
I don't think that's far-fetched.
There's a
to
thought
say.
process out there that's saying you shouldn't pay for running backs.
Especially a guy that's
Especially a
had
guy
injuries.
that's after this many years. Paying an NFL running back after his mid-20s is not a popular thing in the NFL especially. So that's I think that's pretty much, and like we said, our game of the night is the Monday Nighter between the Jets and the Lions, and then the late game tonight will be the Los Angeles Rams versus the Raiders. Everyone's expecting a blowout there.
If anything happens in these 2 games, we'll cover it in the next podcast. for
absolutely, yeah. We'll definitely do another rundown next week. But I'm gonna pick the next topic in.
You didn't talk about the Eagles?
No.
Oh
Super
yeah,
Bowl,
Super Bowl.
Nick
Okay,
Foles.
we don't want
With
to.
a nothing game, and they still get the.
We don't want to offend our social
Come on, guys.
media guru here.
Social butterfly coming in
Angelo.
hot.
The Eagles, you know what, Ange? I can't give them too much pub because that was a sloppy game.
4 sacks.
That
The
was
D
a
was there.
sloppy game. Their D was
was
great
good.
against Atlanta.
The D was-
Their
the D was
their
good.
D bent but did not break. The offense
Yeah.
is scary without.
Jai was huge.
Yeah, without Jeffrey and Wentz, that offense looks very, very iffy. They got, I mean, I won't say lucky, but definitely a sloppy game. Can't give them too
Falcons
much.
can't score in the red zone.
Falcons
Oh,
are
Julio
just
Jones.
continuing that mess of the
That's
red
what
zone.
happened
I
there.
think they're 0-12 in their last red zone trips.
Yeah,
Is
they
that right?
showed a stat like that, something like that. It's crazy, and they're
Gotta
taking
find
him
it.
out of the game now. They're not even keeping him in
the red zone?
in the red zone. They're taking him out, which is crazy.
But the thing with Julio Jones is you should be able to just throw it near
High
him.
enough. Just high enough for you
Yeah.
could jump up and catch it.
I know.
Just near him anywhere.
Us casual fans always say that.
One
Just
on here.
throw it to him.
That's it.
Just throw it up as
It was
high
like,
as you can.
It was like Megatron.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
exactly.
throw it in the vicinity and he gets it.
But okay, let's wrap that up. Week 1 in the NFL. I'm gonna go with the next topic in the starting 5. Let's go with the US Open and the big story, probably bigger than the winners itself.
Let's talk about the winners first.
The Serena Williams meltdown. So let's give homage to the winners first.
Let's give their due.
Yep.
Let's give them their due. Naomi Osaka from Japan. First Grand Slam. 20 years old.
20 years old.
She totally outplayed her in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, huge upset against Serena in 2 straight sets.
2 straight
which is-
sets. And what a good story there, right? I think is that the first Japanese tennis player to win a major? Check that
Yes,
too,
it
T.
is.
First Japanese. There you go.
Yeah,
I'm getting the nod.
There you go.
Like that's great
that's
for
big.
the country.
That's big, yeah.
And we know that the Japanese love their athletes, right? Japanese pitchers, when pitchers come over and play in the MLB,
Yeah, look at baseball.
all
in
the
that
coverage
country.
that they get,
Yeah. Golfers, a lot of great Japanese golfers coming up.
right? They get coverage, they get media. The media comes here.
Yeah, it's a great story, Al. I mean, sure.
They
a
get
young girl like that,
advertisements in the outfield that are in that language
Absolutely.
because they know that many people are going to be watching.
It's huge.
She
It's
is
huge.
ranked 20th.
She's ranked 20th.
So big upset, and then on the men's side, Djokovic defeats Juan Del
Joker.
Potro in 3 straight sets. No big surprise there. I know
No.
Djokovic is obviously not the same as he was from years ago, but
He's
still
getting
has-
he's getting
he's
back
getting back
there,
into shape
right?
now, and he's
See-
definitely making.
See,
his,
now the thing is with him,
his
this
presence.
is his 14th Grand Slam.
yeah,
Big time.
Yeah.
Juan Del Potro was going for his second. He won a U.S. Open before. I didn't know that. He won a U.S. Open before.
Really?
Djokovic or Del Potro?
Del Potro. He's always in and around semifinal, quarterfinal, right? I'd like to say the same thing about Raonic. That'd be nice to say. Oh, he's always in the semifinal, quarter.
No,
you can
he
never
doesn't
even say that.
He's
about
like a
him.
quarterfinals kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm hoping to.
8th round.
Hoping
Yeah.
to Open to say that about Dennis.
But
Shapovalov.
yeah, those were the winners. But let's get into the juicy stuff. The Serena Williams tantrum, outburst, whatever you want to call it. There's that whole situation, and then there's even a lot of legs to it. The whole social media aspect of it, of comments, of criticism. Some people criticizing, some people praising her. A lot of different sides on this story. I don't know where maybe tell us where you land on
so
on
some
this
people
situation.
think, and there's a group of people that think that there was a sexist thing to this, and because she was a woman, she got penalized. But this guy is known. Carlos Ramos, the official, has been known to give penalties to men as well.
Very strict penalties.
Yeah, he's a strict umpire. So he's been known to do that. So just because
Chair
she's a
umpire,
woman,
is that what they call them? Chair umpire. Chair umps.
Chair umpire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you got me thinking it might not be the
No,
chair umpire.
that's what it is.
is.
They're on a chair, so
It
the fitting name would be a chair umpire.
It is.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so she got caught for coaching. Now, apparently this happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
And everybody just turns a blind eye. But you know what? You got caught, Serena.
Yes,
So-
absolutely. And
It might happen all the time, but okay, you're taking the chance every time you do that you're going to get caught and that you're going to get called on it.
right.
Did you see the movement of what he did?
I kind of saw he was a couple hand
He was-
signals.
Who
Moving
did
back,
her
it
coach?
looked like he was saying moving closer and farther from the net.
This was her coach.
Anthony
was her
has got
coach.
his
Okay.
two hands up, held in front of him, and
Yeah.
A motion
coming motioning towards him.
So that's what her coach did.
That's
and
a
what was
coach.
the penal.
That's a coach.
That's a coaching move.
He said it
100%.
after.
Yeah.
Patrick Muratoglu, I'm not pronouncing that right.
Okay.
But that's kind of his last
Close
name.
enough.
He's the coach. And he admitted after, he's like, yeah, I was coaching, but she wasn't looking. Yeah, what were you doing it to? What were you doing it to? The guy.
The guy.
If you're admitting you're coaching, who are you coaching?
Yeah, here's the thing, guys.
Not Serena?
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
think, obviously,
She was saying, I wasn't cheating, but you were.
You were.
You were
you're right,
cheating.
and this is the issue.
Hold on. Then
Okay,
she
no,
says,
finish up.
"Oh, I'm a mother. I wouldn't do this. That don't. Why do you got to bring that into
Yeah.
it?
Right. That's, I think, where a lot
Why do you got to
of
bring
people-
that in? You don't have to bring your kids into it. No. Yeah, okay. It's great that you're a mother. Awesome. You went through a tough childbirth.
She's had a rough last
Yeah,
little
and
while.
coming back as quickly as she did was
Yeah.
nobody was expecting it. I mean,
Suffering
guys,
from
Serena's
postpartum.
one of the best athletes of all time.
Of all time. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Serena's
Yes.
one of the best athletes of all
Yeah.
time. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, so yeah, she went through a lot. So you don't need to do that, Serena. Just let your game speak.
yeah.
Speak for yourself. You should have just went. Yeah, I was coach. Whatever. A point. Let it go. Man. Let it go.
No, that I disagree with though.
If she would've let it go, it would've been
She
fine.
can melt down. She can complain.
She can complain. Okay, sorry, she can complain.
Coaches,
Absolutely.
managers, players of any sport, of any gender, they melt down. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
We see meltdowns. We see tantrums. Our boy Lou Pinella, some of the best tantrums in sports.
You're right.
Loved watching that guy. There's nothing wrong with getting upset,
Voicing your opinion,
throwing a tantrum, having a meltdown.
even though she was wrong.
It's even if you're wrong.
a
Half
lot
of
of-
these guys are wrong.
A lot of baseball managers
Right,
are wrong too.
Exactly.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think the issue that I have and a lot of people had is the fact that she started bringing more personal aspects into the
Yeah.
meltdown.
Tell me.
Sexism.
I'm not a cheater.
women
me a
because
policy.
she was a woman. Things like that.
Then
I
she
don't
slammed
know.
her racket down. Is that when she got the game penalty?
Yeah, I mean that's fine. No, slamming right. It's getting into the sexism to the racial thing. That's where it starts to kind of it gets ugly. At
I think
that
both
point.
parties might have played it wrong.
I
think
so,
Serena played
right.
it way wrong.
Right.
And instead of, I think maybe the umpire could have diffused the situation instead
a
of
little better. Yeah, but listen, it's a
just
heated
saying,
moment.
even in the chair. Listen, Serena. Okay, maybe I screwed up.
Right.
You get up. That's
Yeah.
let's move on with the game. Let's finish the game. I think it was in the second set already.
Yeah.
And she was losing, so it's like, okay, come on, let's finish this.
The one thing, though, the good thing that did happen, I mean, it was kind of really painful to watch the entire stands booing when they were presenting the
That
trophy.
sucks.
What I did like, and
For
say what you
soccer,
will
for
about
soccer, that sucks.
Serena in that situation, I definitely don't support anything she did at all, but I did it was nice to see her tell the fans to stop booing.
That was cool.
Gave her a hug. I think she kind of realized she was completely in the wrong.
That was cool. She was very classy at the game.
But is it a little too late? Little too late. You already caused this situation.
It's true.
But it was nice at least to see that and give Osaka, who had an unbelievable post-game interview, saying that she was just bawling, breaking down, saying like she gets on that court, she's just a tennis player, but coming off of that court after that, she was like a little girl hugging Serena Williams, like when she used to watch her as a kid. It's great stuff, and that's what sports is amazing. We have this meltdown, we have this tantrum that might scar a little bit of Serena Williams' legacy, but
I don't think
it'll scar to significantly. But it's nice that we had this little story, this little outcome. But I think that it's a situation that happens in sports. It got a little ugly.
Got heated. Let's get over it.
Let's get over it and let's move on. Al, you want to hit us up with the next topic in the starting five?
Okay, we're gonna talk about the UEFA Nations League. I can't even say that.
It's even confusing to say it.
I can't even say the name of this league because I'm so confused by it.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure out, before I get Al to dive into
UEFA
his
Nations
description.
League.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure this out. So for those of you that don't know, the Euro Cup is coming up in 2020. They will still have their basic and their standard qualifying groups, which the draw will happen in December. But what UEFA has introduced starting this year is something new called the UEFA Nations League, which gives 4 different leagues. I'm not going to get too much into it. Al's going to dive into it.
I'm going to try and explain it to everybody.
He's going to try and explain it. It kind of replaces friendlies. And also, there will be 4 teams that will qualify for the Euro as well through this tournament. So I will move on aside and let my co-host Al do his best to explain this.
There's 50. Okay, I'm going to go. Here we go. I'm just going to jump in.
Jump right in, man.
Follow this. 55. So there's 55 European nations competing in 4 different leagues.
4 different leagues.
Okay, so these are national teams. A, B, C, and D.
Right.
Okay, there's 55 teams in these 4 leagues.
Simple names on those leagues, eh?
Within these leagues, there are 4 groups.
Yep.
Group 1, 2, 3, and 4 in all the leagues.
Right.
Okay?
Made up of 3 teams.
Made up of 3 teams in each group.
Except
League D.
That has 4 teams per group.
So this is how it works. This is the general way it works. In League D, if you win League D, okay, you have to. So what happens is the top 4 in each group move on, semifinals, finals, and if you win that, you get to move up next year or next Nations Cup to League C.
League C.
And League C to League B to League A.
Right.
Now League A, the top 4 group winners in League A get to play in the Final 4, which is semifinals and finals, and then gets named the Nations League champion.
League champion. Right.
That's as high as you can go.
Right. That's the winner of that tournament, UEFA Nations League tournament.
Now, for Euro qualifying, each Nations League, A, B, C, and D, winner gets 4 spots in the Euro. If they already have a spot through other qualifying, the next best team in that league gets to go to the Euro.
Right.
Which is really cool.
Okay.
So this is something that UEFA says. This is the reason they're doing this, okay? This is a quote from UEFA. The Nations League creates more meaningful and competitive matches for teams and a dedicated calendar and structure for national team football.
Yep.
It makes sense.
It does. And it's essentially replacing the friendlies.
It doesn't, there's still going to be friendlies.
There's still going to be some but for these...
But because this is played in the international block of time, when all the leagues are off and it's international time, then... This would normally be taken up by friendlies. Now it's taken up by this, which is something more meaningful.
Which is more competitive.
It's good for development.
Yeah.
If you look at a team like Italy, they're going to need as many meaningful games as possible the next
they're
17 years.
Not looking that great.
Because they need to rebuild.
And touching on them, they played Portugal today. They're in a group with Poland and Portugal. They're in
the top league. They're in League A.
They are in League A. They lost to Portugal today, and they tied Poland 1-1 on Friday.
So they're in last place, and they've played the most games.
Right.
Which is not
a good start.
Not a good spot to be in.
Germany and France tied this past weekend on Friday.
That would have been a good game to watch.
0-0.
I don't know why they're not I can't find this anywhere.
Yeah, if you stream them online on any of those streaming sites we won't name, you can find the games, but they're obviously not broadcasted on television or anything like that. But yeah, there's some pretty cool groups. Like I think there's Germany, France, and Netherlands, I believe. There's a group with Spain,
England, Croatia.
That's a fantastic.
Now these
group.
are all within League A.
Yeah, these are the top teams. Yeah. Oh, you got it up there. Perfect.
I got it up
Smart.
here. So yeah, Germany,
Okay.
France, Netherlands. Is one group. Belgium, Switzerland, Iceland is another group. Iceland lost 6-0 to Switzerland.
Come on.
6-0 to
So
Switzerland.
the
Iceland
Icelandic dream is slowly fading
dying.
away. Yeah.
That little flash in the pan Cinderella story.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
They'll be back. I'm sure they'll be back.
They got like
That's a good
they got,
cheer.
they got like
They gave us-
another
yeah.
they got like another 10
the
guys.
Viking
in the
clap that every stadium in sports does now.
Yeah, which is I don't think
Yeah.
that's another thing. Why is everybody doing the Viking clap now?
I
That
think-
doesn't make any sense.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings kind of
They can
They
do
would do it.
They're allowed
They
to
can do it. You have the right.
But
I'll give
a team in Alabama can't be doing
TFC does it.
TFC.
TFC does
Why?
it. When I was at a game last year, I was like, oh, whoa.
That's not
We're doing the Viking clap.
TFC has enough of its own cheers.
I
They're
know.
amazing.
Fantastic. Danny Dicchio, one of the
that. I
best
heard they
cheers
stopped
in
it.
sports.
I heard
They
they
stopped
stopped
the
it.
DQ
I heard
one?
they don't do it anymore.
Why?
I'm not going back to the game until they bring it back.
Not yet. I'd leave.
You should
What
bring
minute
it
was
back.
it?
It's the 23rd minute.
23rd minute. I would leave
The
minute
first
24.
goal of Toronto TFC's
Yeah,
franchise.
You go up to the 23rd minute, then you leave.
Then I leave because I don't want to be at a game where they don't sing the Danny Dicchio song.
Yeah, it's a fantastic song. One of the best chants in soccer. And
Inaugural season
In
ticket
sports.
holder right here.
So yeah, Al, you did a great job on that rundown. I think for the most part, our listeners got the gist of what
Or
it's
are
about.
completely confused,
Or-
which is okay too.
If you are,
We are.
if you're still confused, send us an email. Send us a message on Instagram or Twitter. We'll definitely, we'd be more than happy to help.
Maybe we'll cover it again
Run it down.
next week.
Oh, when it starts, definitely cover it.
We'll touch on
We'll
it
have to cover it again for sure.
while it's going on. I think
We're gonna have to cover Italy finishing last and moving down to cruise.
I think they play their games
League
now,
B.
their first games now, and then they take a break, and then they play them again in November.
Yeah.
So that we'll touch on that then.
starts back up again.
But let's jump into now. I'm going to pick another topic here in the starting five. Of course, I'm the guy to pick this one. Topic one, Max Pacioretty of the Montreal Canadiens
Don't sound so excited, man.
is finally traded.
I'm happy for Max.
Traded for Thomas Tatar, Nick Suzuki, and a second-round pick.
Suzuki's their third-ranked prospect.
Yeah, never,
or
100
Montreal
points.
never heard of him.
Vegas is third-ranked prospect. Yeah, big deal.
Okay.
So
So
Tatar sat in the playoffs.
he's a throw-in. I think he's a salary kind of match maybe there. I don't know how much he's making, but shouldn't forget to say that after the deal, the Vegas Golden Knights signed Pacioretty to a 4-year extension.
$28 million.
$28 million. So, I mean, I'm not personally a fan of Max Pacioretty. I think he's one of the most overrated players in the league. I think he had a few good years of...
Okay, a few good years makes you a good player.
well,
a few good
was
years.
Was he a good player last year?
No,
No,
but the
he was
team,
a horrible
But
player.
there was more going on.
Well,
than
this
just
is
him
my
playing-
point.
There was more going on than just him playing hockey.
I think he was
64 games last year. It's his lowest league total in the last 5 years.
Yes, I think.
Lowest game total in the last 5 years,
Listen, on a team like that with not a lot of scoring,
and probably hurt because he was hurt.
someone has to score. He was the guy that scored.
Listen, I'm not,
he got all the
a
power
Max
play time.
Pacioretty
Yeah,
defender, but the numbers are the numbers. So this impacts Vegas. They got James Neal left.
yeah.
This guy's better than James Neal.
I think so.
I disagree with you guys on that.
But numbers don't disagree, Jay. You can't just say you disagree.
No. What numbers are you looking at?
I'm looking at goals.
Goals? Okay, so just goals? That's the only thing that matters?
Goals and assists? Yeah. That's how you win games.
So it's goals and assists, Pacioretty has been significantly better than James Neal
Absolutely.
his whole career.
Wait a minute. I'm saying current day James Neal versus current day Max Pacioretty.
So last season,
25
Pacioretty
goals.
had a better season than James Neal.
I'm talking current.
Oh, dude, they didn't
Last
play
season-
yet.
last season doesn't
the
count.
season hasn't even started yet.
Last season doesn't count. Let's go over the last 5 years
Yeah,
count.
okay.
This guy scored over 30 goals for the last 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, that doesn't replace James Neal? who scored 25 goals last year, got 19 assists.
What did he score the other years? Why aren't you telling me the other years of James Neal?
Maybe I don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, they're definitely similar. I like James Neal because I like him more because of his grit. I think he brings a lot more to the game. I think Pacioretty's soft.
Yeah, you love James Neal.
I think he's soft. I don't think. I mean, listen.
Real deal, Neal.
No, guys.
I think Pacioretty's a good player.
On a team of
Great
depth,
addition.
a team of depth like
Vegas.
Vegas, where they can put him on their second line, and he doesn't have to be the focal point, especially in a market like Montreal. I think he'll do fine. I think
30 goals?
I think he'll do great. I don't think he's going to score 30, just because of the depth on that team. He's not going to get the power play time. He's not going to get the first line time. He'll be fine for what they need him for. A second line forward. He'll be more than fine. He'll fit a role there, and I don't think they'll be upset with him. I'm just not a big fan of him. But what I want to touch on quickly before we move on is a little drama between the owner. I don't know if anybody's seen the videos last week of the awkward handshake of Pacioretty and Bergevin at the golf tournament, and then today owner Jeff Molson said that Pacioretty had actually requested a trade last season. Max was quick to deny that report. So little
he said, she said.
Little he said, she said there. And then I guess to close off this topic,
let's do the Canadians' impact because they're funny.
What do you mean the Canadians?
How does this trade impact the Canadians?
Wow.
Because they're funny. They lose their captain.
Yeah. Number one.
Price is all by himself getting paid like crazy.
3/4 of the team's salary.
Max Domi is the only Max on the team now.
Yeah.
Guys, all they have to do, all the Canadians have to do is come out with what the Leafs did. They just say, listen, we're rebuilding. It's going to suck for a bit. Chill out.
Well, that was my question. Is this now the official start? Are they now primed for a tank season / rebuild? And second part of that question, should Price be next?
Absolutely.
Is this the leading point to...
They got to think about it for sure.
Oh my
the thing
God.
is, they could have kept Pacioretty at least to start the season and maybe upped his value a little bit. They traded him.
Yeah.
They could...
20 games, 25 games.
They could strip the team down. You got
to trade Price to strip the team. You need those picks from him, and you need what you can get from him. He starts a rebuild.
But he's 9 years. He's going to be here in a 4-year, 5-year rebuild.
Who else is valuable on that team? They just got Domi, so they're not...
Domi's not...
No, I don't think he's anything.
He's not the
great.
answer.
He's a good player. No, but I'm just saying they're not going to trade him. They just got him. Who else is valuable? Who has value?
You can't trade. You can't trade.
No, he's gone. So
yeah, nobody's going to take
just
Weber.
Price. There's no one else you can start a legit.
Oh, they're in such a bad spot. They have to rebuild, and they have nobody to trade.
Other than being bad for 4 or 5 years.
And I don't know if you could be bad because Carey Price can win you an extra 10 games.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think he's getting sick and tired of that situation. You can tell by his body language.
He needs to get out of there for everybody's sake.
Yeah,
he'll benefit from leaving too, I think.
Yeah, well,
I guess
absolutely. He's gonna piss away.
Not depending on the team that he's gonna go to, because any team that he goes to is gonna be better than Montreal.
He's gonna piss away his prime years.
He can go to any team
playing on that team for the next 4 or 5 years.
Edmonton.
So let's wrap up the starting five then with our last topic.
MLB wildcard.
MLB is wrapping up. Just a couple weeks left in the season. Wild card races, division races. In the AL, we'll do quickly AL because there's really only one race. The Red Sox have pulled away. Cleveland has had that division since week 1 of the season. And the only race is Houston and Oakland. Houston 2.5 games up on Oakland. I think that's going to go right down.
That'll go right down to it. As long as the Yankees don't get home field advantage in the wild card game, we'll be happy.
I think they might, because the Yankees are 2.5 games up on
2.5 games on Oakland.
On Oakland, yeah.
So they would be tied with Houston.
I'd love to see the Yankees not get home field.
If Oakland jumped over them. Wouldn't that be something with all the hype stats?
I'd love it.
Gary Sanchez is the best.
What a bust he's been this year, eh?
I don't understand. He was supposed to be so good.
Well, anyways, yeah. I mean, I'd love to see that. I think Houston probably pull away with it. Oakland, I'd love to see pull off a wild card win, but that's
over the Yankees.
Yeah,
absolutely. They got good guys on that team.
Yeah.
Matty Chapman's going to be the best
Chris
third
Davis
baseman in the American League soon.
Chris Davis is probably one of the most underrated players in the
He's
league.
the most underrated player in the
I-
league, absolutely 100%.
Yeah, the guy's a monster.
The guy just keeps hitting jacks every single year.
Bomb after bomb.
You think it's going to fade? Nope, keeps coming.
But that's pretty much it from the AL. The NL is action-packed.
Body.
Atlanta pulling away with that division, 4.5 games up on Philly.
Milwaukee's on fire.
Milwaukee's pulling up.
8-2 in the last 10.
8-2 in the last 10. They're holding down the wild card right now. I believe it's Milwaukee and
St. Louis
St. Louis
is 2.5 back in the second wild card spot. Then
Yeah.
the Dodgers, 1.5 back.
Yeah, the Dodgers are still...
I see the Dodgers. And then Arizona doing their good old-fashioned lose everything before the
They're
season
going to
ends.
slowly fade away. I think
Yeah.
the Phillies are slowly
saying that all
fading
year.
away. I think the
Absolutely.
big three there are going to be Milwaukee, the Dodgers, and St. Louis. We can't talk about the NL
Rockies
West
are,
race without the
are
Rockies.
a game ahead of the Dodgers.
They're a game ahead of the Dodgers.
A game ahead, yeah.
I think it was a half game. It's kind of
A
odd.
half game.
The Dodgers are not. They've just kind of been stumbling along, like winning 2, lose 1, winning 3, lose 2. They're not pulling away, and I don't know with that star-studded lineup.
They have the firepower.
It's
Dodgers are one.
We still haven't seen it though, and
Half
they've
game
had
back.
this team for about a month now, and we're still waiting for it. So I don't know.
Machado's money. What are you talking about? Kemp's this is a good team.
Their
man.
players are the team on paper is fantastic, but they're not
Colorado's
pulling
doing
away.
well. Yeah, Colorado's
They're
doing
not.
well too.
They're
Though.
losing to Cincy tonight.
And they're losing right now to Cincy. It's
Lowly Cincinnati.
they're not pulling away. Like I expected them to get on a nice 10.
So you don't even think they're going to make the wild card? You think
I
St.
think
Louis
they'll
is
make
gonna-
the wild card. I think they'll make the wild. I expected them to pull off a nice, win, go 10-2 in their
They
in
can
the
still
next
do
12.
that though.
Maybe, but I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. We'll see. But
You never want to limp into the playoffs like this.
yeah, and that's what they're doing. That's what kind of worries me. So I think, that just about does it for our starting 5. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little break. We're going to hit you guys with a little musical interlude over the next couple minutes, and we're going to get back into our second segment of the show and quickly touch on that. It's going to introduce our first topic, which will be our Week 2 NFL picks against the spread, and this is going to be a segment that we're going to touch on every week, keeping tallies between the guys here in the booth, and that is going to be sponsored by Cellular Solutions. And then lastly, Red Leaf Sports got some exclusive VIP access to the BioSteel.
What's the equivalent of
camp.
backstage access at the BioSteel camp? Backstage, you got backstage passes?
Well, no, I wasn't really behind the scenes.
Tickets. It's behind the scenes what you got. Absolutely.
VIP access. Yeah, access
The
through the
whole
door.
VIP access.
Basically, I had access to walk in without security kicking me out. I think that's
perfect. That's
which
just
was more than enough.
access, which is good.
So yeah, Red Leaf Sports had access to the BioSteel camp, which was a couple of weeks ago. That was a fantastic day. Check out our Instagram. We had some videos and photos from that day. But we're going to touch upon everything that went down. And also we're going to hit you guys with, we got to sit down with Colorado Avalanche forward, Andrew Agozzino, local boy from
Awesome.
the GTA. Red Leaf salute to Andrew. Gave us the time to sit down with him. So we're going to hit you guys with that interview. But we'll get into all of that coming up in our second segment. So thanks again, guys, for listening, and we're going to take a little break. You're listening to the Red Leaf Sports Podcast. All right, welcome back to the Red Leaf Sports Podcast. Jay Marinelli again here with Al D'Angelo, and we're going to jump into our second segment here. And we're going to lead off with a segment that we're going to be doing every week for the remaining of the NFL season. And it's going to be our weekly NFL picks against the spread. And this segment's brought to you by Cellular Solution. Cellular Solution is your one-stop Bell Mobility dealer for all your corporate business solutions. Their team of dedicated specialists manage your day-to-day mobile solutions. Contact Tom Gostich by phone at 905-264-2228 or by email at tom@cellularsolution.ca. Give your business the solution it deserves on Canada's fastest LTE network. Again, contact Tom Gostich by phone or by email at tom@cellularsolution.ca. With Tom and Cellular Solution, you're never without a solution.
I called Tom.
You called Tom?
He got me my phone.
Is that your guy?
Did he give you a solution?
Yeah.
There you go. You heard it from
everything is solved.
You heard it from the horse's mouth right there. It's
Tom solved everything that had to do with my phone.
there you go.
First
So
sponsor.
that's going to be our weekly segment, as I touched on quickly. Al, do you want to give us a quick rundown on this?
Yeah, so this is, we're going to be doing NFL picks. So we're going to do 5 games against the spread. Now, the spread...
5 marquee matchups every week.
We're going to do Thursday night,
Yep.
Sunday night, Monday night, a 1 o'clock game that
a
we
4
designate, and a 4 o'clock game that we designate. Maybe when there's Saturday games, maybe we'll throw a Saturday game in for that week, something like that. But the way it's going to work is we're going to take the spread, and there's all kinds of different spreads out there, different lines. We're going to take the spread Monday afternoon from the score.
Yep.
They have a spread which takes their spreads from a betting website.
Yes,
for sure,
they
or
get them
Vegas or
from
wherever.
a betting website.
So we're gonna use that spread, and we're gonna make our picks based on that spread. So for this week, we have Baltimore versus Cincinnati, where Cincinnati is the underdog by 1. Green Bay versus Minnesota, where Green Bay is favored by 1 at home.
Mm-hmm.
New England at Jacksonville, where New England's favored by 2. Giants Dallas Sunday night. Dallas is favored by 3.
Wow.
And Seattle Chicago on Monday.
Chicago favored by 3.
The way it's going to work is me and Jay are going to make our own picks, and
We're going to tally them up through the year.
Right. We might match on some picks, and the ones that we match on, our social butterfly, Ange Pompilio, will
fade against us.
We'll play against us.
Right.
We'll keep track that way too. So we're
Right.
going to keep our own score and our score together.
What's on the line, guys?
Ooh, what's on
good
the line?
question.
Yeah, we
What's on
didn't
the
really.
line?
We thought about this whole idea.
Lay it on the line.
We didn't come up with something to put at the end of this season. Are we gonna make this like monetary? We're gonna do
No, something funny.
Something
funny.
Maybe our listeners can send in some suggestions.
That would be cool.
What we can put on the line.
Winner
Listeners,
gets, loser has to do.
Right.
Something like that.
Winner gets this. Loser has to do this. Listeners, please send in to our social media, our Instagram, our Twitter, our email, your ideas, your
So I'm going to have
suggestions.
to try really hard.
This is going to count for something, not just for nothing, right? Just for
here we go
for
now.
the
Okay.
podcast. Let's make it count. So,
I'm rethinking my picks now.
well, I don't know. I might have to do
My
the same.
Cellular Solutions picks.
Let's start off. Game 1, Baltimore versus Cincy. Baltimore is favored by only a point. Very small, low spreads on these games that you picked.
They're good games.
Yeah,
They're
tight,
good games.
tight, almost pick'ems. But I'm gonna lead off. I'm gonna go with Baltimore to cover the -1. I think they obviously, yes, it's the Buffalo Bills, but I think that that defense is incredible. The offense this year has improved drastically with Willie Snead, Crabtree, Collins. I think that's a great team. Cincy looked okay last week against an Indy team, but I'm going to take Baltimore only -1.
Okay, you could take Baltimore at -1. I, on the other hand, will take Cincinnati. So we differ on the first one.
Good.
I think Baltimore sucks. No, it's just because I don't like Baltimore. But no.
Betters, he's a Steelers fan, so if you're gambling and you're
No,
taking any of our
don't
advice...
gamble based on our advice, please.
Yeah, maybe a little disclaimer
Yeah,
is...
don't gamble based on our advice.
We play Proline once in a while, and I think I've maybe won Proline 5 times in my whole life, so take that as
How
you
close
wish.
have you come?
A lot of close.
Everyone's close.
Yeah.
If I got paid for being close, I wouldn't be doing a podcast right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
I'd be living in a nice mansion, rolling in some dough. But yeah, that's a little disclaimer. Take our picks. It's something for fun.
For fun.
But yeah, Al's
Good,
a
so we
big,
differ there. I don't think Baltimore is as good as they looked against the Bills.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go into this week like big shots because Flacco's a big shot, and he's going to go into this week. He's going to think he's good because he beat the Bills 47-3, and they're going to be a little overconfident. And then Cincinnati, right in the chin.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati does look good. They do look good. That offense does have some firepower with AJ Green and Mixon coming out having he's a sleeper pick this year to have a big year. So
AJ Green was comparing him to the top running backs in the league.
I love hearing that. That's my boy.
Nobody
Joey
cares
Mixon.
No one cares about your
Nobody
fantasy
cares about
team.
your fantasy team. Thanks, T.
Yeah, that's a good way to
Anthony
to
can
move
chime
on
in with that anytime he wants.
to the next game. Next game is Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay is also favored by by 1. Al, do you want to
You know
lead
what?
us off on this one?
You know what? They're favored by 1.5. Actually, do you want
Is
to
it
keep
1.5?
When I checked it last, it was 1.5. I sent it to you, Jay. Stop making it like it's a big deal. It's a half
You
point.
did. You did. I didn't put the revised version in my
I
notes
sent it
here.
to you. I said revise this line because it changed.
You're right.
So I'm picking Green Bay at home because they're at home
Mm-hmm.
and it's a rivalry game. And I think if here's the caveat, right? If Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, I still have to live with this pick.
Yeah, what are they saying right now?
They're saying that he's probably going to play. They don't know. The team's
don't know,
saying
no.
the team's saying they don't know. Aaron
gonna
Rodgers.
practice. He's
Aaron
gonna
Rodgers
practice
is
this week.
yeah. Aaron Rodgers is saying he's in. So he's probably going to play. So I'm going to go with Green Bay at home -1.5. They're going to be very confident from their last win. They're going to want to make up for the bad first half that they had. I think they'll want to make up for that. So they'll come out fighting right away. And I think -1.5 is enough. I'll take the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I went back and forth with this one a lot, but I'm actually also gonna go on the opposite side here of you. I'm gonna take Mini on the road in Lambeau, 1.5 favorites. I just think, like you said, Green Bay, they got a little sloppy. They did come back. It is the Bears. They've owned them for as long as I can remember. I don't think they're going to get away with the same mistakes.
Bears should have won that game.
Bears should have won that game. Minnesota is a great team, a great offense, even better defense. I think Cousins has
Cousins is a
the
good
word?
quarterback. He's not
He's got the
great
experience of
quarterback.
being in the outdoors, that cold weather. He's gonna
Because
really.
he played in Washington.
He played in Washington. I just Green Bay looked very iffy. I'm gonna take Mini with
not
the
gonna be
1.5 points.
Okay, it's not going to be that cold there. That's not going to...
It's not right, but I did.
Well, you never know. It's
He's
Green
an
Bay.
outdoor quarterback. I like
Outdoor quarterback makes
Mini,
sense.
Mini with the 1.5 points.
Nice. Okay, so Sunday, 4 p.m., New England and Jacksonville. So wait a minute. We differed on that last one, too.
We differed on that last
Good.
one too. Yep.
Sunday, 4 p.m., New England, -2 favorites against Jacksonville, going up against the tough Jacksonville
In
defense.
Jacksonville.
Oh, where is it? Is it in Jacksonville?
Yes.
In Jacksonville. So Brady away from home.
Did we both? Can we cut to the chase? Did
Yeah, we both
take New England here?
took New England.
So sorry, Ange, you got to take Jacksonville.
Jags.
That's a good pick, though, Ange. Taking the Jags.
Jags are good.
Listen, New England we didn't really touch on them in our week 1 rundown. They didn't look that great against a Houston team who also didn't look that great.
They didn't look as bad as I thought they were going to look, though.
Right.
The New England Patriots. I thought they were going to look a lot worse. I was expecting them to drop off again this year, and they're not going to.
No, yeah.
Tom Brady is one of the best. Ever.
Houston didn't look that great, and New England got by a touchdown. So I don't know. But with the low spread of -2,
And it's anybody's game.
I don't know if I can. I mean, a bigger spread, I'd probably go with Jacksonville, but Fournette had that injury scare, so who knows what's going on with that.
I like Jacksonville D.
Jacksonville D is obviously great, but I'm gonna go with New England.
Me too.
I mean,
Tom
that's
Brady.
not a
You
far-
go with Tom.
Yeah, that's not a far-fetched bet. So next game, 4th game,
Sunday nighter.
Sunday nighter, the Giants against the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't know why Dallas is -3 here.
They must be at home.
Yeah, Arlington.
Yeah, they're at home.
So
So they play bad at home.
Yeah.
They're not good at home.
well, this year, I mean, let's put aside the other years. This year, that offense looks absolutely hopeless. Without Ezekiel Elliott, Cole Beasley was their biggest target yesterday. So if Cole Beasley's leading your...
Elliott was there yesterday. He scored a touchdown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying without him, though, like aside from him, Cole Beasley's your biggest threat in the throwing game.
Supposed to see a lot of...
Hearns didn't see nothing. The young kid, Gallup, didn't see anything. One reception, I believe.
Tavon Austin's there now, eh?
Tavon Austin had 1 rush for 1 yard. He's fell completely off.
He used to be
off the football planet.
A highly touted player.
Yeah, he had some hype coming up, but he's fizzled away with the Rams getting pushed out there. And now with Dallas, like I said, he got 1 touch. So
anyway, Dallas is favored by 3. I'm going Giants. I don't think Dallas is going to win, so I'm not going to take the -3.
I'm going to take the Giants too, as much as I don't want to. I'll take them against that spread, that +3 all day.
So Ange gets
going to take
Dallas
the boys.
at -3.
Sorry, I should do that to you.
Even the Giants you wouldn't like.
As an Eagles fan, yeah, it's both division teams, Ange, so you can't. You're in a lose-lose situation there. So let's move on to our last of the Marquee 5 matchups. This is the Monday Nighter. Seattle,
Chicago.
At Chicago. Chicago favored -3.
I like Seattle in this one. I wasn't expecting Seattle to do as this week against the Broncos.
Yep,
they lost. They lost 27-24. They lost
by 3.
But they looked okay. They looked okay against a strong Broncos defense. Russell Wilson, he did well.
They looked okay, Al, minus that offensive line again, year after year.
Wilson almost threw 300 yards.
Scrambling, though.
He threw 298, 3 touchdowns.
Yes, throwing, but the running game, they're going to have a really hard time, hard time keeping Wilson from getting knocked on his ass. Because it seems like every other snap, he was scrambling for his life.
Yeah.
From Von Miller and those guys.
You think Khalil Mack is just going to shut Seattle down, -3, no big deal for you?
I don't think it's a no big deal. I just think with that defense of Chicago at home, -3, it's only a field goal. Seattle's, their defense is not that great. Yeah, I think I'm just leaning more of the home field advantage type of thing. Chicago looked okay that game against Green Bay. Obviously, the second half, not so much. Demoralizing, but that's the Aaron Rodgers effect. I'm gonna take Chicago with the points -3.
I will take Seattle +3.
So we differed on 3 games: the Baltimore-Cincy game, the Green Bay-Minnesota, and the Seattle-Chicago.
That means we'll have to have a winner this week.
Yeah, one of us will be up, and Andrew has the Jacksonville Jaguars and Dallas Cowboys in the other 2 that we agreed on. So
those were our picks for Week 2 NFL.
That's exactly it. And again, we are going to be doing this every week, keeping a tally. And again, listeners, send in your suggestions, your requests for the winner and the loser of our weekly NFL picks. Again, brought to you by Cellular Solution. So. Moving on to our final topic of our official first podcast. Red Leaf Sports had some VIP access, as I mentioned, to the BioSteel camp that took place here in Toronto. St. Michael's College Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And we had a friend of ours, a friend of the show, who got us some access to the BioSteel camp. And for those of you who don't know what this BioSteel camp is, it's a week-long...
It's basically a week-long camp. I think you can go for longer, too. I think some people go for longer. It's like a...
Well, I was talking to some of the guys there.
Yeah.
No big deal. I was talking to some of the NHL, AHL players that were attending. No big deal.
No big deal. You're right.
They were basically telling me that the camp, there's guys that work there all summer, actually. But BioSteel officially hosts a 1 week, almost like a training camp.
Right. For professional hockey players.
Before the training camp for NHLers, AHLers.
I think that's amazing.
Any professional guys that play in Europe. And they hold, so Monday to Wednesday is intense training. Could be training inside the gym. I know I saw some obstacles. They did some gymnastics training, some balance training this year outside on the track. on St. Michael's College Field. They do a lot of intense training through that week. And then what they do to cap off the week of hard work and training is they do a 4-team hockey tournament in the St. Michael's Arena.
So it's called the Ray Emery Cup.
This year, used to be the BioSteel Cup, and then obviously the unfortunate passing of Ray Emery this summer,
July 15th. He passed away.
Yeah, it seems like just yesterday. And he was an avid volunteer here and participator of the BioSteel camp. So good friends with a lot of guys here at the tournament. They named the trophy the Ray Emery Cup, which is
awesome. I think BioSteel by doing this. I mean, a lot of these guys they're always going into shape into training camp.
Today's day and age,
there's no off season. There's no off season. In the olden days, guys used to come back fat, and then training camp was to get into game shape.
Right.
Training camp, they're already coming in to training camp in the game shape. They're already going into this BioSteel camp. These guys. These guys take 2-3 weeks off, and then they're back at it.
Well, like some of the guys said, they're working out. They're able to leave their equipment there. They're able to leave their stuff there. They have lockers assigned to them.
Great advertisement for BioSteel.
BioSteel is making they're just an unbelievable company. All the kids that they had out there, really nice to see. I mean, hockey players NHLers were just walking around like they were in their backyard, and the
kids were there.
And the kids were there, full access. For the most part, the guys were great. Most guys were signing autographs, doing things like that. But it's just a great event all around. And basically, to do a quick rundown, it's 4 teams. The 4 captains this year were Tyler Seguin, Tom Wilson, Delzato, and I believe the last one was Darnell Nurse was the last captain. And the finals ended up being Team Nurse versus Team Seguin.
Team Seguin won.
Team Seguin took home the Ray Emery Cup, and they're, believe it or not, their 3rd winner in a row at the BioSteel tournament.
Seguin's cleaning up.
So a lot of the guys there, a lot of the NHLers are getting a little pissed off with him. And
Seguin he probably has a pre-BioSteel camp to get ready
comes
for the
to play.
BioSteel.
I'll tell you one thing. Watching those games, the first couple games, you can see the guys are they're taking it easy. They're just
this whole thing is to create a competitive environment for these guys. For their pro hockey, they got to get back into game shape eventually. So why not start here? Be a little bit competitive, because they are. You could tell by a lot of their interviews after the game that it's a competitive event.
No, Al, let me tell you, by the semifinals, the last few games, these guys were going. Sagan's there to win. Okay, he's there. Ryan O'Reilly was on his team. Those two together. Man, that's if they ever play on the same team, that's a lethal combination. Tom Wilson was one of the captains. That guy's a big boy, and he doesn't take no shit from anybody, even if it's a little fun tournament.
No.
And we're forgetting about the best hockey player in the world, Connor McDavid.
McDavid's there.
Connor McDavid was there.
Not to mention
this guy. I mean, I've seen him play live.
Okay, so you know a guy like this is good when other elite hockey players step back and say, wow, this guy is good.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the current hockey players say about Connor McDavid. You talk to anybody who's the best, they tell you who's the best.
Yeah, and all of them have no doubt in saying it, right? They're very easy to come out and say Connor McDavid is the best. Watching him play,
he's not even at his peak yet. He's still 20.
He's still young, and he at this tournament, I mean, he was going through the motions.
Can you tell that he's that much better than everybody?
I was just gonna say, Al, he wasn't trying at all, and he scored one of the best goals of the tournament, but not in the highlight reel sense. That was actually Andrew Agozzino, who, quick little segue, we did get to sit down with him. We're going to jump into that shortly.
You'll hear that in a second, yeah.
But Connor McDavid got a saucer pass a little too high, about almost a belt high. I don't know if he did this purposely. He probably did, intentionally. It knocked off the shaft of his stick, came down, and then he hit it out of the air with his blade. So he deflected off the shaft onto his blade in the middle of the air into the back of the net.
Crazy goal.
Max Domi scored a highlight reel goal. Ryan O'Reilly with the game winner, tournament winner, with about 30 seconds left in the finals, scored an unbelievable goal. And a good little segue, as we just said, Andrew Agozzino, who is a Colorado Avalanche forward and played last year with the San Antonio Rampage. He scored.
He's good. He plays well every time he's in.
Listen, this kid, he's got a lot of speed. He scored probably the highlight reel goal of the tournament. He came around the back of the net, cradled the blue line, dangled some guy out of his jockstrap. I don't know who it was.
Let's not mention names.
I'm not going to mention names.
It's just the BioSteel.
Came into the slot and just rifled it home. And he scored, again, like I said, one of the highlight reel goals. But touching into that, Andrew actually was very gracious enough to sit down with myself at the BioSteel camp.
Awesome for him to do this. This is
unbelievable, and we can't thank him enough. He sat down after the tournament, and so you got to think it's a long day of games starting at 9:30 in the morning. His team, he was on Team Nurse, Darnell Nurse, and they made it all the way to the finals, lost to Tyler Sagan in the finals, but sat down with me for about 5 minutes, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit you guys and play you guys that interview, and we'll come back and talk a little bit about it.
Absolutely.
So here's the interview with Colorado Avalanche forward Andrew Agozzino at the BioSteel hockey camp. Hello everyone, my name is Jay Marinelli from Red Leaf Sports, and I am here coming to you from BioSteel camp at the St. Michael's College School Arena, and I'm joined by Colorado Avalanche forward Andrew Agozzino. Andrew, thanks for doing this.
No problem, man.
Really appreciate that. So I'll start off. Great showing today. Tough loss in the championship to Team Sagan. You scored a highlight reel goal, but you guys came down 4-3 in the final. How was that experience?
It was definitely a tough loss. I think it was 20 seconds up they scored, but a lot of fun out there. Anytime you get a bunch of guys this caliber, it makes for some fun plays and a good day. Absolutely. And how many years is this that you've attended the BioSteel camp now? I think this is my 4th year, so I've won it twice. I was looking for my 3rd today, but obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah, Team Sagan seems to be stealing the show the last 3 years, it seems.
Yeah, it seems like he always finds a way to win it.
Yeah, and so tell us a little bit about the week. What's your favorite part of the BioSteel camp week?
It's just nice that you have, we normally have about 25 guys training here, and for the camp we have probably another 15, 20 that join us. So just to see a lot of guys that you maybe haven't seen all summer and that you play against a lot, I get to hang out with them and talk, and it's just a fun week. And obviously it's late in the summer, so you know that training camp's right around the corner. So there's a lot of excitement here. We have a lot of fun. We put in some good work, and it kind of caps off the summer. Yeah, it's the last little bit of fun before the real stuff starts getting down. Yeah,
right?
That's for sure.
Yeah. So, if you could tell me, who's your favorite guy to play with at these BioSteel camps, and also who's your least favorite guy to go up against on opposing teams?
I'm happy I was on his team this week, but best player to play with is obviously Connor McDavid. He, you can see how special he is out there, and I think I would answer the same guy to both questions. If I wasn't on his team, he would probably be the least favorite guy I'd want to play against. So you see him out here. He's obviously the best player in the National Hockey League right now for a reason. And it's just it's a treat to watch him out there.
Yeah, a bit of a double-edged sword. I mean, you love playing on his line, on his team, but seeing him coming down on the wing on you, it's probably not the greatest feeling. But two-part on that question. Is there a guy at these tournaments, at these camps, that takes it like dead serious, like really shows up and will do anything to win these games, to win this tournament?
I don't think there's one specific guy, but I think as the tournament goes on, you see it get a little more competitive. The first couple games are kind of relaxed and guys enjoying themselves. But then you see the last 10 minutes of the finals, it's pretty close to a real game, minus the full contact that you're going to find this time of year in the summer. So I wouldn't say one guy specifically, but as you get to the semifinals, the finals definitely becomes a little more serious.
Yeah, you can definitely see from the stands the guys start to take it a little more serious as the last couple games start coming in and the championships. And again, Team Sagan defeated Team Nurse in the championship for the Ray Emery Cup at this year's BioSteel camp that concluded the week. So again, Andrew, I want to really thank you for your time today. We really appreciate you giving some time to Red Leaf Sports and the podcast, and we wish you the best of luck in this upcoming season, and look forward to having you again on the show sometime.
Appreciate it, man. Anytime.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for listening, and we'll tune it back to our Red Leaf Sports podcast. And there you guys have it. So, again, Andrew, a fantastic interview. Really awesome. Really appreciative of him sitting down and doing that. I mean, you could tell the guys have fun.
Yeah,
the guys have fun.
They love being there.
And they love being around. I'm sure they've all became really close with certain guys that participate in this event.
Yeah, they're buddies, right? So it's and like I said before, it's good to get these competitive juices going at this point of the preseason, right? They still got the training camp to go,
right?
But it seems like there's a good camaraderie with everybody there.
Yeah,
a good environment to train in, a happy environment to train in. That makes all the difference too, right?
I tried to get him to spill out like who's the guy that
I
takes
heard
it the
that,
most serious, but he wouldn't give a name, and I get it. What we were saying before we played the interview,
seems like Sagan takes it the most serious.
Sagan, and even watching, but
winning.
But what he said, I found it awesome, was his favorite player to play with and least favorite player to play against was Connor McDavid, and I think that's the right answer.
That's the consensus from probably anybody.
Imagine that guy coming down on you, even as an NHL caliber player. That's a scary sight. So we want to thank Andrew again and again for sitting down with us, and we'll definitely try and be back there again next year to get some.
We're
going to
touch base with Andrew later on. In the season,
and we want to see how his season's going.
We want to keep up with this guy.
Yeah, and we're rooting for him. We're really hoping he gets another shot with
first
with Colorado.
Interview for Red Leaf Sports, so he gets a Red Leaf salute.
He does get a Red Leaf salute. Local boy from
and these Red Leaf salute, we don't give them out like candy on Halloween.
No, you got to earn it.
You got to earn your Red Leaf salute.
If you sit down with us at a BioSteel camp after a long day of hockey, you get a Red Leaf salute.
Red Leaf salute to you, sir.
So that, I think, that'll wrap up our BioSteel adventure. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
And can't wait to do it again next year. But I think that also does wrap it up for our official launch and first official podcast.
What do we shake hands now?
Do we sign it off?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Maybe we should. I don't know. Let's bring it around the table before we sign, seal, and deliver this. Anybody else got anything else that we missed? Any corrections? Any input you want to throw out there? Ange chomping at the bit here.
Kawhi Leonard is buying a house in Toronto.
Kawhi!
Torontonian coming home.
Good. I'm happy about that.
We didn't talk any basketball today, so I'm very happy to hear that, Ange.
Kawhi, welcome to T.O.
Press conference with Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green, September 21st.
Oh, it's still so long, but so close.
It's fine.
So
they're not going to say anything.
Far. I just want to hear him talk.
They're not going to say.
I just want to hear him talk.
We're really happy to be here.
Yeah, and he's probably going to give cliche after cliche.
Absolutely.
But I don't know, something about it. I just want to hear him
Maybe
say.
He won't, though. You never know with him,
I don't know. So September 21st. So that's what? Another
2 weeks.
Week and a half? Okay. Yeah, I can wait. That's fine.
That's good that he bought a house there, though. It's better than the alternative, right? You can, when stuff like this happens, it's like, okay, what were his options? His options were to rent, to live somewhere else. It's nice that he bought. This is what I would have wanted to happen.
He could have just stayed in the hotel.
He's not going to rent.
He could have just stayed in a hotel if he didn't
like
want to be
Skydome
here.
Hotel, like Robbie?
Like Robbie Alomar back in the day.
Skydome Hotel.
Well, that's good news, Ange. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that.
Robbie?
He had several visitors up there all the time.
Robbie was the king of.
He probably had several rooms up there all the time.
His room was the party room.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he definitely had the party room.
Also,
what else you got,
going
Ange?
on your James Neal and Max Pacioretty rants.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, let's just say Pacioretty averaged 10 more points than James Neal in the past 5 years.
So, Jay, in conclusion, do you think that...
Plus minus, they're pretty much 35 or 33. So they are the same player. Give or take 10 points. 10 empty net goals, Pacioretty. It's...
empty net goals.
That's a half special, Jay.
Yeah, half special.
Guys,
Have special.
First of all, they still count.
Okay, it's 10 points. At the end of the day, yes, I get it.
Right? So is he an adequate replacement for James Neal on Vegas? More than adequate.
Of course, that's why they made the trade.
Absolutely.
Give me James Neal's grit over Max Pacioretty all day, every day.
Oh, you also didn't need to sign James Neal for
4 years.
Yeah,
Right,
Sign Pacioretty for less.
4 years, 28 million.
Less term. Pacioretty. James Neal signed for more term and more
With
money
Calgary.
in Calgary.
Okay. Yeah,
Everybody's
so
happy. Everybody's happy. I like when everybody's
That's
happy.
a good stat there, Ange.
And good for the New York Jets tonight.
Oh yeah, the game of the night.
Holy.
Not much of a game.
It's a stinker.
48 points. Believe it or not, the New York Jets have put up 48 points tonight against the Detroit Lions, who have put up a measly 17.
Just say it was the most points they've scored on the road in franchise history?
Yep.
Wow.
Against Matt Patricia.
We also didn't talk about Cleveland best start since 2004.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and the Cleveland Browns
Best
best start since 2004
They
with
didn't
a
lose.
0-1 record.
Khalil Mack, crazy stat yesterday. Fumble recovery, forced fumble, INT, return touchdown TD, and a sack all in
What?
1 quarter.
1 quarter?
One half, first half.
One half.
Wow.
First half.
Yeah, then he disappeared in the second half.
What do you call it? Cycle? What do you call it? A defensive cycle?
Defensive cycle.
I'd be interested to know if that's how often that happens. I don't think that happens too often.
ever.
That's
First time ever?
the first time ever?
Yeah, I was gonna say that can't happen
Whoa,
often.
Khalil.
The fact that you just said that,
Earning
in the
his
same
money.
sentence
Crazy
is
stuff.
mind blowing.
How bad is Oakland kicking themselves now?
Yeah, but then
They
his
couldn't pay
defense
him.
let up 24 straight points.
Yeah, then they
After that, so
Yeah, now everybody's...
I think the thing is Chicago's D is still, like a lot of guys have been saying, it's still a young defense. I think next year in 2 years they're going to be
Solid.
one of the best defenses.
Yeah, I
in the
agree with
league.
that, Jay. Good take.
I think, is that about it, guys?
That's
Anybody
it.
else
That's
got
all I got.
anything?
I'm
Going
good.
into someone else's hands now.
That's it. So we are going to officially wrap up again our official launch to the Red Leaf Sports Podcast, Episode 1, and the work is basically out of our hands, and we're gonna throw it all on to our technical director, Luca Celebre. We're sorry to drop this on you, man, but this is the guy who does the real work behind the scenes.
This is good quality
This is
stuff.
good
we're
quality
selling.
stuff. But I mean in a sense that he's the one that's going to be putting this all together for our listeners and giving you guys the best edited podcast
Without Luca,
that you can hear.
we're nothing without Luca.
We're
Let's
nothing.
just say that.
Absolutely. We're just a bunch of guys talking sports around the table, which is
Right.
what we do
Normally
every week anyways.
Yeah.
So, again, guys, we're going to wrap up this first official podcast. I want to thank you again all for our listeners. Please continue to check out all our social media platforms and also check out our podcast on iTunes and Spotify. So, again, for myself, for Al, Anthony, Ange, and Luca, you're listening to Red Leaf Sports Podcast, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Boom, boom. This gonna feel real good, alright? Most dope. Everybody please put a thumb in the air.